It's a banger song. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AF Minicast. I'm the Graphic Gangster. Small Arms Danny. The commish Tyler Treadway. And then from the kitchen table, ladies and gentlemen, say with me, Mr. Cory G.
The commish. I like that, Mr. Tyler Treadway. What is the song? If I love it, love it.
I know this is one of your songs.
Yeah. Who is it? All right, what's good? Your boy Cory G. We're here. Look, everyone loves the AF Minicast. I love the AF Minicast, so shout out to everyone that loves it. We love you too. Danny's got the smallest arms I know. Even his third arm's small, so I'm going to send it to Danny.
I don't even know what to say to that. Arms are not small, can confirm. All right, so we're going to kind of go through what we just experienced at Sorenex's event, SummerStrong, down in Lexington, South Carolina. So the first year, shout out Brian Peters, he kind of introduced us, gave us the lay of the land. We were there as kind of the fly on the wall, kind of taking it all in. And then this year we became a vendor, especially with the muscle bar kind of entering the picture. So I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like your family reunion, melting pot of, you know, all strength and conditioning world with college, pro, high school coaches all in one spot. So it was a really cool experience because you'd be talking to somebody from the Pittsburgh Pirates, you know, one moment, and then you're talking to some high school football coach in East Texas, and then to the local fire department. So I think we could all say it was probably worth going down there. So why don't you, we could all just go around and take a turn maybe, just kind of what you thought of the event, and then maybe some of the takeaways that we're kind of looking at for our own Muscle Island event.
Yeah, I think we should start with you guys. Cole, you start.
Yeah, I think because I had some people ask me about how, like, you know, the trip went and stuff like that. I just think it's cool. It was really cool and kind of inspiring of how Sorenex has been able to cultivate such a like good community of so many different people that are very high level, like, I mean, high level military, high level strength and conditioning, high level business, like all of this. And then you go there, and that is a place with those types of people that egos could get in the way. A lie could be very egotistical or very people just trying to see, like, I'm the smartest one here and stuff like that. And you feel none of that there. It's just everyone just very open to whatever the fuck's going on, very laid back, but I thought it was a great experience. Yeah. And just handing out the muscle bars. I mean, it was because we went there last year, and, you know, you met some people, but this year it felt like we had a lot more connections, and now seeing those people again next year will be really cool.
Yeah, I would agree. Treadway.
Yeah, kind of to soundboard off what Cole said, taking the muscle bar down was really cool because it gave people a reason to come talk to us. So last year, you know, it was just us trying to go out and make new friends. And then this year, everyone became our friend because they all love the muscle bar so much. And people were coming back 2, 3, 4. I mean, this one guy, Mr. Wesley, he was one of Pops' oldest friends for like, he talked to Tyler Sealever and I for probably 8 hours total the whole weekend. And the one day he ate 4 muscle bars. So it's just really cool because you feel that sense of family, and you see what the culture is. Like, you get to see it and you get to feel it. From the speakers to the guests, like, everyone is super respectful. Everyone's awesome to talk to and hang out with, and you get to learn a lot about like people's needs. And, you know, working with like the sports teams, it was really cool to hear what they're lacking and how we can make up for that. So that was really cool. And yeah, it's just an awesome event. And I look forward to going back every year.
Danny?
The couple things that stood out to me from Bert's opening speech, the CEO, was like, there's never been a fight there in Amazing. 18 SummerStrong events, which is pretty crazy. And then piggybacking off of that, when he was talking about, he's like, there's every alpha in the world in this room right now. He's like, we would have the biggest brawl of all time. So that was pretty funny to say. But like, and then he explained how SummerStrong even came to be, like starting with Pop's, you know, birthday, and he just wanted to lift weight and smoke a pig or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But then he talked about the evolution, which is like, I think what we're seeing with Muscle Island now, because like, he's like, this person, you know, knows powerlifting, but then is teaching this person in bodybuilding, who's teaching this person in CrossFit, who's teaching this strongman something. So that kind of like kind of capture the essence of what the event is actually about. But like you have like Chris Stapleton playing over the speakers outside, but then you smell the food that the operations guys are making, and then you're having this really cool conversation with somebody from the local fire department because they need better recovery. It's like
you got DMX on Squat Party.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like all over the place.
Yeah, that was pretty hype. So, but yeah, I can't wait to go to SummerStrong. So but anyway, go ahead.
I would say historically, I don't know that I've been around another brand that I aspired to be like. Just straight up. In my entire thing, everything I've ever built has only been what I was trying to do. Like, I've never been somewhere where I was like, one, felt that aligned on how if or when our thing continues to get bigger, that it would feel that way. And also that there's that many high performers that act that way. That is extremely uncommon. And so, Bert knows that as he's built this, that there's something that no one else can really rip off because it is unique in the longevity of the time they've done it. And like what he said in the opening and how important it is because of his dad, randomly got to spend a little bit of time with his dad on that curl machine last year. Probably like a half hour. Where it's just me and him talking about Larry Scott, talking about the machine, not even knowing that's his favorite machine in the whole place. So I look back, he passed away 12 days after last SummerStrong. So it's really kind of interesting to reflect on. And just like what Bert had to do, bro, no one wants to do that. You know what I mean? Especially when it's that deep and we all felt it. So it was like super cool. I think that the big reason why we rushed to get the first event done last year and then the island event before the end of the year was because of what I experienced there last year. I knew that a version of that, because we're not going to be them, but we have our own version of that, is exactly what our community needed. And I would argue it's what we need, right? Because we need the interaction and the feedback of the John Jostins and, Dalton coming in town and guys like we feed off them, they feed off us, right? And I think that's probably the same thing for Bert. They can do $1 bazillion in sales, but you get to hear from the actual high performers in the categories that you serve. And so, yeah, super inspiring. Once again, first group of people I've been around where I'm like, man, okay, we can have our own version of this. It's going to look different. It's going to be more often. It's going to be a different group, but it's people aspiring to get better. They're people in our community are trying to get better. People in that community are trying to get better. It's just that they happen to be all mostly strength coaches or military, where our community is a little bit of everyone, and that's fine, but they are coming here to have a date on the calendar, have an experience, and get better, and then feed off of our energy, which is what happens there. And so I think it's, one, something I'll always go to unless I physically can't go to it, and two, I think it'll become a bucket list item for me to speak there too, like Jimmy Mack said. The reality is you have, from the muscle bar standpoint, the exact pinpointed room of influence that you need to like it. And they loved it. And so not only was it good to re-feel what it felt like to be in a community like that to help build our own, two, to have the feedback from actual customers that are at the highest end of the fucking spectrum of practitioners and who are teaching everything, that feedback. I don't know how we can't not be overly elated with what we got going on right now. Guys, let's think about what it felt like this time last year. We hadn't even started the subscription yet. I'm pushing on Danny to get it fucking live. We're under the fucking water at the island. I'm a month behind on the foundation. I'm investing money into the new process. You guys are going through the website, trying to do all these different tweaks. We're going through and trying a whole new social strategy, investing into that with Jimmy and Teddy. It's very different this year because we went through all that. So for me, I think SummerStrong becomes the new Arnold Classic for me in a way, because I can then reflect on a period of time from SummerStrong to SummerStrong. because the Arnold Classic did that for me for like 20 years. I feel a little different, not because I don't like Arnold, but because I don't know, that being a presenter there or a vendor there felt like it used to feel at that other place, to be honest. And so I think that's the way I'm going to look at it. And yeah, super excited to see Peters. Doc Serrano was amazing. Jimmy Mack, I was super inspired by, who's the guy out of the Bahamas. I don't know, I was pretty blown away by the whole thing. So what it does is when I come back, it makes me want to lean into more to even what we're doing and what we got going on, and makes me want to think exactly how we get there, which is what I've been doing for I literally hung insulation all day yesterday, just thinking about all this stuff. And so, yeah, it was really amazing, I think. So it's a good little download.
Yeah. I mean, so to segue directly to Muscle Island and the summer party and Olympics for the Mafia members and everything like that. So like, what are 1 to 3 things that you took from Sorinex maybe that you want to apply directly to that event?
Yeah, I would say 1 to 3 things that I'm going to apply from Sorinex to our Muscle Island event. Number 1 is that there's competitions that people look forward to. And I think that's part of it, right? We're all training, we're all pushing to get better. And I love that whether you're an 800-pound puller or a 200-pound puller, doesn't matter. It's about getting on the platform and pulling and having fun and having your peers in that moment kind of cheer for you, right? And want you to be successful. In all worlds colliding, right? Which is what that is. Strength coaches, power lifters, Olympic lifters. Like you got an Olympic lifter squatting 650 on a powerlifting bar. And you could see how like different that is for like Ryan and those guys, but fuck it, that's what it is, right? So I think that was number 1. I think number 2, leaning into like, I like the longer event. I think we need more time there. Like, I think the party was a cool intro because we're just kind of getting rolling on how do we get people there? Is it going to be nice enough? I like the longer event because you get a real chance to probably honestly make some real friends. And there's a lot of these people that know each other online but have never met in person. So I think I'm going to really think about that more and more as we do more events here and on the island, is that maybe we give people a little bit more time if they have it, the way we structure it. I think, I don't know what the third one would be. I think the third one probably is that it's a necessity. Like we have to be in front of our customer like that. Like the old way of like just be on the internet, don't go to anything, which is just what happened, not honestly by design. It just kind of happened over time. I think it's easy to be that way. But our customer needs us and we need them. And the more often that we can keep them motivated, keep ourselves motivated and be in touch. And he thinks of every detail. And I think leaning into that, we should continue to put more and more oomph on like the events. No one can rip that off. I'm going to attempt a little bit, but we're really doing our own thing with the inspiration from that event. And I think the same thing about us. No one can rip off Kamish, Graphic Gangster, or Small Arms, or Content Kyle's chest hair. No one can rip that off. You're supposed to smile, Kyle. Or the Chaser. So no one can rip that off. And they sure as fuck can't rip off me and fucking Muscle Island, right? And so we need to know that we've got ingredients here that are completely authentic and unique. And the more that we can highlight them by things like this, the more we're going to win and help our people win, which is really the key. So those are the 3 things I would say.
Trey, Cole, you anything to add? You want to move on to our next segment? Good.
We can move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to kind of shift gears. So, we had a lot of in-depth conversation talking about who our customer is, both at Cory Fitness and Max Effort. And, a lot of us came into the fold, whether it was in high school, college, and now we're obviously a little bit older. So we got to roll with the times here. So a lot of people are starting to have kids. They're getting married. There's all these life factors going on. So like somebody who maybe used to have 2 hours to work out, maybe doesn't have 2 hours anymore. Maybe they're, a pump 30 only or a pump 30 incline walk person now. So, that's what this next segment is going to be kind of focused and centered around. So we'll start with kind of like in the workout category. So like people, like the number one excuse is they don't have time. Right. Mm-hmm. So we're going to address that. So how can I get in shape when I barely have 30 minutes a day?
How can I get in shape when I barely have 30 minutes a day? Look at your screen time. I guarantee it's more than 30 minutes. Actually, there's no way it's not. And I guarantee the 30 minutes it isn't only for work. It's just you have time. You have time. Sleep less than 30 minutes. Like get up 30 minutes early. Stay on your phone 30 minutes less. I mean, it's there. So that is an absolute excuse. And like, I don't know. There's certain things that I can try to be nice about. I don't think this is one of them. You have to put maintenance on your body. You need it for your mind, your body, your being, your confidence. Like, think about this. Has anybody worked out consistently and said, I hate this? No one. No one's ever worked out consistently and said, I hate the way I feel. I wish there's no way I want it. No, there might be people that don't like working out. I get that. I love it. So I understand. That's the thing. But you have to work out if you don't want to be weak and fucking less confident. And honestly, just like you got to slow your body from dying. That's what you're doing. You're like slowing up the process by conditioning it, training it, making it strong, making it resilient, making your immune system higher. So like, just think about, oh, I don't want to work out, I don't have time. And then think, well, when I did work out, how did I feel? Like, don't forget how you did feel when maybe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it's 10 years ago you followed the Get Swole plan, the squat every day plan, the busy diet, the blueprint, whatever, early get stacks, and you felt amazing. Well, there's still a version of that for you. You just have to remember what you felt like. And let me remind you, like, try to get addicted to feeling good again. So if it's only 30 minutes, cool. How about we get 40 minutes? You do 30 minutes, pump 30, you lunge 10 minutes. Keep it moving. I mean, literally everyone has that. I am so fucking busy, and everyone has that amount of time. So please just do not use that as an excuse. There's certain things in this world that are black and white. I think this is one of them. It's you have 30 minutes. I almost guarantee it. Might not be at the time you want it to be, but you have it. And I just don't think there's another option.
I mean, what you're saying is priority. Their priorities.
It's a priority for you. Yeah. And like, here's the other thing is, if you don't prioritize it now, you think there's a problem to get the 30 minutes, you're going to have real fucking problems at some point, because you're going to have blood work problems. You're going to have confidence problems. You're going to have weakness problems. You're going to have the puscitis problem, whatever it is. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to have a fucking situation where, I don't know, am I allowed to say puscitis?
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Is that a word? So you're going to...
Someone's typing it in right now.
Yeah, anyway, you're going to have one of those problems.
Well, like, all right, so going off that, can you talk about, like...
Maybe we don't put that one in.
Well, like, I mean, I'm 28, so I don't have kids or anything like that, but I have high-level responsibilities. Like, I'm taking on more things outside of that. So can you talk about, like, why you started training at 4 a.m.? Like, it was basically a necessity at that point.
Training early was a necessity because I went like this, Cole. And yeah, 28, kids or no kids, a lot of responsibilities. What do I want my life to look like? How do I want to feel? Do I want to be able to still play rec sports? Do I want to still be strong? Do I want to not hate myself if I take my shirt off at the pool? Do I want to feel good? Do I want to keep learning? All of these things, right? Well, mine was, I still want to compete. I still need to look a certain way. Like, for me, for my own confidence, to feel good about myself. Obviously, that helps with my business, all these things. And so then I also like, well, I got to be there for my kids' practices. I got to be there for my wife. I got to be there for my job. And so I started looking like, well, where's all this stuff fit? And I was like, okay, I need to get real serious about a hard cutoff time for bed. I need to get real serious about my food and my insulin manipulation and my products for my recovery. And if I want to fit it all in, then I have to be a fucking killer on my schedule. And it has to happen at this time and this time and that time and that time. And that's it. I tried it, and then I've added and subtract. So if you don't have like a strategy to get it all in, maybe it's because you never really sat down and put it together. Because you need to like go, do I need to be training by 5:30? Or really is it 6? It doesn't have to be fucking 4. But I guarantee, like, whatever your thing is that you're up against, there's probably a solution. You just need to strategize it and then try it for a week. See how you feel. Once again, like, remember how you felt when you had it together. A lot of people watching this are going to feel like, wow, I just been a little off track and have it together. But when you have it together, it's different. Like, you feel different. The world looks different. Like, the opportunities are different. The confidence is different. Like, your mentality is different. Like, you know, people react different. Opportunities are coming out of the fucking woodwork because you're on this like different level of like frequency when you hold yourself to that standard. I'm telling you guys, I think about this all the time. I've experienced some wild things in my life because of this. I wish everybody could experience it. But what's required is putting that schedule down and really dedicating to it. And knowing that you're 220 and you want to be 180 and you're willing to take 3 years if that's what it takes. That's the mentality. Like, I think, you know, that you've taken, Cole, specifically, that the community's really resonated with, because you were never done in the 10 or 12 weeks that I won abs. Every time you needed more time because you needed to be less carbs and more serious and less cheating, basically. Because that's what was required because of where you started at. And the reality is, like, sometimes that's the answer. It's not fucking easy. But if you don't have that set up that I train at this time, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to do that, it's never going to fucking happen. And I just want people to say, I'm starting this process and I'm just not doing it till I get to a certain point. I'm just going to do it till I get to a certain point, and then that's the new me, and that's it. And, you know, I don't know. That's why I think a lot of people resonate with what you've had most recently, because they've watched you not rush it, take your time, up, down, sideways, get more discipline, not less. You know what I mean? Require more out of yourself, change it up, push yourself more intensity. I just think, like, I don't know. People want it to be easy and it's not. But setting that schedule up and identifying that it has to be at this time, and that's it. It's that black or white. Simple. It's actually that simple. Good.
All right. And then turning directly to the family. So talking about like health and fitness as like a family value and pillar, right? So how can I get healthy and show my kids that fitness matters too?
How can you get healthy and show your kids that fitness matters? Show your kids that fitness matters. That's how you do it. Like, they don't do what you tell them. You can't be smoking fucking darts and be like, don't smoke. Because if you're smoking ports, they're going to smoke ports. You eat fucking salmon and sweet potatoes, they might not eat it right now, but they will eventually. Walked in last night, was getting ready to get my salmon out. Keeney's, shout out Keeney's Kitchen. AG ate half of it. Hey, Dad, that salmon's gas. Yep. I was like, yeah, don't eat any more. It's my fucking food for the week, kid. But I'm glad you like it. He's not eating fucking rallies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he likes it. So my point is, like, people are always like, I want to be healthy for my kids. It's not selfish to take accountability to yourself and be healthy and outline. People think this is a fucking excuse, and I hate it. I don't have time to train because of my kids. Maybe your kids take up a lot of your time. You need to train because of your fucking kids. You need to eat healthy because of your fucking kids. They are going to do what they see you do. If they see you feeling like shit, overweight, unconfident, and not together, guess what's their normal? It's just the fucking truth, guys. Like, think, when I watched what was going on with my mom, she worked out, but she was always stressed about money. She was always upset. There was a lot of chaos and all that stuff. And so I thought to myself, luckily, I wanted to change that. But historically, that's not what happens. You replay it because that's what you see. And so I'm one of the few that saw one thing and did something else. Most people do not fucking do that. They see it and they do it. So what I'm trying to do is I changed it. Now I'm trying to display what I hope that they follow, and then they're going to have their own version of it. So you need to take the understanding is that 90% of the people, or probably 95%, replay what they see. They do not change it. Unless there's some serious trauma and they're really fucking fed up, which I think was my case. But the reality is that is not true. So you need to know that as a fucking parent. And you just, then if you're teaching it, you're showing it, and they completely go the other, they're an adult, they're making their decision. There's nothing you can do about that. But this question, when people would ask me, I got to do this, I want to make sure this for my kids. Yeah, fucking do it. You don't got to be a fucking bodybuilder. Just make that during the week. You have a vegetable, fucking protein for lunch or for dinner, like that you push to eat healthy, that you want to move, you go for a walk as a family. Like, make fitness and health a normal. You're not on a diet. You're not training for something. You're just healthy. It's okay. You know what I mean?
And the other thing is, it's not selfish.
No, it's not selfish at all.
Because like sometimes, just carving out that time, you can kind of feel guilty from time to time that you're not spending time with your kids or something because you're, going on a run or whatever it may be.
I'm going to tell you what's selfish. When you're doing a bodybuilding show and you feel like shit for 8 weeks and you don't want to talk to nobody. And when you get home, you're so tired when you walk up the stairs because you're so fucking lean that you don't want to play football with your kid. That's selfish. That's the extreme level I've been to before. That's a selfish situation. You working out so you can be better for your family is not fucking selfish. That's a fucking excuse. Like, that shit to me is just like somebody else using their kids as an excuse. Don't fucking do that. Like, do it because of your kids. And then be the one that they look up to because they're like, I know it. Like, the things that I'm still able to do, I can tell it inspires my kids. They're not going to say it to me. I can see it the way that they interact with me because they're like, I think I want to be able to do this stuff when I'm older. Like that. That's the biggest thing, the compliment that they could say to me because of all those years, all those early mornings, all that stuff, the way I'm able to interact with them, not when they're 5 years old, when they're 20 years old, when they're 30 years old. Like, that's a very, very different way of being able to live, for sure. We need a quick break. And we're back. All right. There was one other point to that I wanted to make, but I can't remember. I think I lost. But it's not selfish to take control of your own health. Don't use that as an excuse for your kids. Actually use it for an excuse. To carve out the time. Here's how I feel. When I carve out the time, part of why I carved out the time at 4 a.m. is because that was the less selfish way. It's just the truth. It'd be more selfish to do it at 5 p.m. That would be selfish. So yeah, you're right. At 5 p.m., if I went and worked out, I'm a dick because I'm missing stuff. At 4 a.m., I'm not. I'm a fucking killer. There's a difference. Like, that's the way you have to look at it.
The one point I want to add too is like, you can integrate your family into your training.
Yes.
Like, let's just say it wouldn't be selfish if you trained at 5 p.m. if you knew for a fact that like your kids could come out into the gym with you, or your fucking like wife or like spouse or whatever could come out and partake with you. Then that makes it less selfish and actually makes it more easier. And like,
I would agree with that.
I think whenever I have a family, I'm 100% going to make sure like my kids and shit like train with me or at least see me training.
Well, yeah, there's Saturdays or Sundays where all three of my kids and we come in and train, or we do stuff at home, or me and Rachel go on a walk and one or two of them will come and then we'll hit bench in the bait. Like, it's just look, I know it's easy to look at me because it's my job. I get that. But I'm telling you guys wholeheartedly, like, I was prepared to do something else and still lift weights at this level. Like, this is what I do. I just thank God every day that I actually could do it for my job. Like, I've been like this for like a really long time. I'm going to lift weights. My entire family lifted weights. Everybody I just wanted a chance to do it as my job. So the reality is like that's always been present. Like, grandfather, dad, stepdad, like, it's just always been around my like world. And I wanted to be strong. I want to be strong like my grandfather. I want to be strong like the guys I would see at Rocky Road Gym or at the fitness pavilion. I wanted to see, like, when I saw the guys from West Side come there, like, I wanted to have muscles and be confident like the bodybuilders. Like, all of us that have looked to fitness thought about those things. You know what I mean? And they're all true if you dedicate yourself to it. And so do it for your family, not think that you're selfish. I think it's honestly the opposite of what you think it is. And like, when I carve out the time, I don't feel bad for one fucking second. Not for one fucking second, because I just think it's an excuse. So quit using it.
Another thing too, like, I mean, for all the parents out there that have young kids, and like, there's the entire spectrum of kids that like sleep awesome to kids that don't sleep worth a shit. I'm more on the sleep like shit side, so I can vouch for that. But like, so like, case in point was like this morning. So like, my 3-year-old's on 1 in the morning for whatever. She just keeps getting up at 5 no matter what. So I'm like, fuck, when do I have to get up to like be able to get this in or whatever? And that like obviously tests your patience to the highest level because you're like low key pissed that you can't do what you want to do at that time or whatever. So, but she came down, I brought her downstairs with me. So I was able to get my ruck done or whatever. But then I'm over there I was warming up to squat or whatever. And I'm mixing in some ab wheels between as I'm warming up. And I'm back on the bar, I look behind me. She's literally rolling out with the wheel. And then she's walking around with, like rolling it around the basement and stuff. So she's doing that. And then next thing I know, she's grabbing the band and now she's like kind of doing rows with the band. And then she's hanging from the rings. So like it's it's like not a coincidence. So like they're always like watching you. So it's not that hard to integrate them.
Your kid is never going to not know you working out.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like that's the baseline. Like we eat a certain way. Everyone trains. Mom trains every day. Dad trains every day. It's normal. The other thing that's normal is the business part, right? That's something that I never really thought about. But now that Alex is getting older, he's asking me all those questions about reading all these books, and that's what he's been watching. And so these are all the things I was trying to change, right? That it's like the baseline is abnormal actually. But in my household, it's normal. Because then you're setting up that second. So if you were a person that grew up and were upset about what you saw, and then you're like teetering, so you're not as bad as maybe your parents, whether it's food, training, finance, whatever, you're better. But then you're like, how do I get that next generation to another level? You have to get yourself to another level, not just a little bit better, as good as you can, and then pass it on the next. Like, I just think it comes down to, I just did a podcast earlier today. It was like a 7 a.m. start. We talked a lot about expectations of yourself. You got to have high expectations of yourself. And expectations are kind of a weird thing because it really, Gary Vee said something a long time ago where he said, give without expectation. And I leaned into that. So I'm giving all this free stuff. I'm giving out the workouts. I'm doing whatever. And that's what I did. I gave, and even if I like give somebody money or stuff, I don't ever expect anything back. You give without expectation. Then there's the expectation of like yourself and your own operation. And then you also realize like it's hard to really have your own expectation and then throw that on someone else because that's not really fair, right? You can showcase the expectation of yourself. Then whether it's people in your own house, people you work with, whatever it is, they're going to take and pick or choose or follow what they want. But it starts with your own expectation. So if your expectation is, I'm going to eat good most of the time, I'm going to move every day, and I'm going to make this a part of what we do. And this is normal. That's what's going to be normal to them. That's going to be the expectation. My kids don't think they're on a diet. It's just the way we eat. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not a diet, it's an actual fucking lifestyle. We talk about margin, money, equity, stocks, because that's what we do. It's not a financial talk. It's just talk. You see what, like you start to make these things that society is building up to be some wild things. They're just become more normal. You have to have an expectation of yourself that's like different than that though. And I think when people start to really zone in on that, I think they'll get the change or they'll see the things that they really want. It just takes a little while. That's all.
I think that's pretty much it. Cause you kind of hit on like, as far as like, if you map out your day, cause like you've gotten a lot better with like structuring your day. So
I have a calendar now.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. So let's start there then. So you literally went from like chaos to control, like
It's still
in a
chaos,
sense.
but
yeah, it's still chaos, but like in Cory,
I'm the most non-committal person of all time. Very committed to my early schedule, but you guys know it. Like but that's what I've been fighting for my whole career. Is that exactly. So I think a lot of people think I don't want to do things. And sometimes that is true. But most of the time it's because I don't really know like what I want to do. And when you work for now 26 years as an entrepreneur, you're fighting for that. The structure of the morning puts like, and that's like bulletproof, right? That's really important to set up so those other things can be like yesterday. You guys will laugh. My best use of my time to me in my head was what I did yesterday. Wasn't because I didn't want to maybe do the mini cash yesterday or do something else. It has nothing to do with any of that. I needed to, that was bothering me because it's been sitting there and I knew how to do it. And would it have been more effective to pay somebody to do it and wait? Probably. But the time I spent thinking about all the stuff from Sornex that I just ripped off, I did yesterday while I was hanging insulation from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then I got out of there thinking, is that a smart idea? But the reality is like that morning schedule and the longevity is for me to fight for the chaos to be what it is. I do have a schedule really just so I don't forget the one-on-one clients, because I would 100%. And then like if we have a day like, you know, if I'm doing more things that I know I got to come back for certain items. But I think that what almost every entrepreneur is really fighting for is that freedom of the schedule, right? But we need boundaries because we got to get a certain amount of stuff done. And you know that, yeah, I'm definitely less chaotic, but I don't know. That's just part of the madness, I think. I wish I was a little different sometimes, but I'm not. So I just go with what it feels.
All right. Well, anything else you guys have? So make sure you sign up for the Mafia membership if you are not already signed up, so you can come hang out and compete and hang out, cook out, whatever on Muscle Island on June 28th. Morgan will be there, right, to play. Why don't you talk about Morgan a little bit real quick?
Well, here, first off, what's the Mafia membership? The Mafia membership is an outline to success. We're going to have you identify the 3 products that you know are going to lend towards your goals. That'll be helpful with your results. The lifestyle piece is going to be the gear and all the fun items that we give each, and then just following along with the team and really getting to be part of the community. The experience is coming out to the events. When you come to one of the events, you will never feel the same way. Same as we felt when we went to the last event, last weekend. You're going to be forever different because you're going to meet other people from other parts of the country that have the same ideas and pursuit to get better that you want. And they might be in a completely different profession, a completely different part of their process of losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it is. But it is like a family reunion at every one of these events. It is unlike anything else in supplements. The Max Effort Mafia is truly a community family. So it really is lifestyle or results, lifestyle experience community. So you want results, you want a new lifestyle, you want experiences, and you want community. Within that process, we're putting dates on a calendar so you can train. We have events, contests, and everything so you can get better. And you're going to blink and you're going to be on it for a year, meaning that you then have gotten way better, lost 20 pounds and I want abs, came to multiple events, got a raise, made a new friend, push yourself and have a different expectation to get what you want out of this life. That's what the Max Effort Mafia subscription does. That's what the membership does. And we are here to facilitate that and really help you get what you want. And so I would highly recommend, if you have not, sign up for the membership, come to the event. You can still register on June 28th. Come out and see this craziness that's called Muscle Island. Interact with everybody, do the events, and just have a good time. And yeah, Morgan will be there playing some songs. Dami will be there playing some music. And Matt will be there feeding us some food. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, see you on the island, homies.
That was good.
There you have it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great episode of the AF Minicast. I'm the Graphic Gangster, Small Arms Danny, Miss Tyler Treadway, Miss Cory G. We'll see you next week.